seeing all my friends that they're able to do it, it makes me, I'm not gonna lie, it makes me jealous. I want to be able to do some of the things. You're telling me I don't want to be like Christian Pulisic and win Champions League and play in World Cups and do these things. Of course I want to, you know? Of course I'm happy for everything he's doing, but I look at it and I think, oh, that looks great.
Joining me today is a gent who is truly an exclamation point in human form. A TikTok maestro blessed with a scorcher of a shot. In the span of just a few short years, he's gone from toiling in Oklahoman high school obscurity to the US men's national team after storming the English Championship. And I've got to be honest, I adore watching this man play. He takes the field with a sense of menace and wonder that makes him, by some stretch, the greatest DK since DKNY. Thrilled to have him back with us from West Bromwich Albion and the US men's national team. Wahoo wah to the great Daryl Dike.
What an introduction, by the way. That incredible introduction.
When we last spoke, you were just a few months into your time at Barnsley, up there in Yorkshire, on loan from Orlando City. This was your first taste of Championship football. And you were just a 21-year-old, only your second season as a professional. But you just came out firing on all cylinders. What was it about Barnsley, Daryl, and that environment that made your transition seem so bloody effortless?
Going there, everyone kind of prepared me every single training session. So for me, I used to I obviously try and train how I play. So being in that environment, you know, when I go into the game, I think it helped the entire squad be prepared to, you know, succeed.
There was talk of Barnsley signing you on a permanent contract at the end of the season if the club had made it to the Premier League, but no promotion meant that the loan ended, and suddenly you found yourself back at Orlando City. You got back to England within the year, signing with West Brom on January the 1st, 2022. I am fascinated thinking back to those first moments, you sitting on the plane to England again, doing some positive visualization for the months ahead. What were you seeing? What was your goal, your mindset upon arrival?
Coming to a club like West Brom, I was thinking to myself, this is a huge club. I was a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little bit nervous. But you're sitting there thinking, this is the club I used to always watch when I was younger. Like, always watch them on TV. I wake up Saturday morning having a bowl of Frosties and I'm watching them. I'm watching them play. You know what I mean? And now my name is on the back of one of their kits. So for me, that was the thought is, well, now's your real chance.
You arrived at West Brom and the early days were filled with challenge. It was agonising to watch. Just 2 games in, Daryl, playing Peterborough. It's your home debut. You were taken off in the 53rd minute, a hamstring injury. Can you describe that experience? We've often seen it on field as a player grabs their leg and you just kind of know. As a footballer, what did you experience in that second?
I remember the ball came across and I tried to jump up, but I was also turning at the same point. And in that point, I felt my hamstring tighten up very, very bad. In all honesty, I thought it was just a cramp at first. I thought it was just like a really, really bad cramp. And then I took a few steps and I was like, ow, this really hurts. I can't move. And for me, I was optimistic at first. I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. It's not that bad. And then I got the scan and they're like, you actually have a pretty good tear on it. And because me in my head, I thought it was only going to be like max 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And then after it was 12 or it was multiple months. So that was the hard part for me.
But in another cruel twist of fate, and stay with us listeners, it does get towards a happy ending. But you picked up a thigh injury. I remember again, the agonising news breaking. You were out again until the beginning of November. You managed just 4 appearances in your first 10 months at West Brom. And you've described this, honestly, as the, quote, most difficult time of your life. All that waiting, working your way back just to be struck down again. How do you keep that frustration? You talk about your mentals. How do you keep your frustration from spiraling into a really unproductive place?
I always told myself that I will be able to play. It's not a career-ending injury. It's not anything like that. And I'm going to be able to play. There's still tons of time throughout the season that I'm going to get my chance. And I just have to go and find solutions and things like that. Maybe, why is this happening? Why is my body not, cooperating as much? Some people could just be like, you're just unlucky, which sometimes it's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes you are unlucky. But for me, that was the thought process, is I'll be back.
There was a silver lining to your protracted injury battle, is that it gave you a lot of time for introspection. And it was around this moment, late August, when I think you made a remarkable self-discovery.
So I come back home to my apartment, right? And I look down at the bag I have. This is what I've been using. I have been washing my clothes with dishwasher soap since I've been here. I have lived in England for 8 months. I'm an idiot. How do I even do that? After I got the bag, I just put it under my sink. So every single time I went over, I would just grab it and I'd put it in. And I vividly remember for a while just being like, my washing machine just doesn't wash very well. I don't know why, it just doesn't wash very well. Like, it's all right, but like I just never thought it washed very well. So obviously I reached the end of the bag and I pulled it out and I was looking around. I looked at the bag and I was like, is that a wine glass on the bag? I was like, why is there a wine glass on the bag? And then obviously I sat there and I read and I was like, this is too funny for me to even just keep to myself. So I had to just tell everyone. I still get jokes to this day. Tons of people have bought me laundry detergent now. I've had like 4 different people, like 4 different boxes of laundry detergent literally in my cupboard right now as we speak.
You are quite a TikTok bloke. We talk so much and think so much about the pressures of social media, how insidious it can be. But the reality is, it also seems like such an incredible release for you. The flip side seems to be a place where you're having a great time. What role can social media serve in your life as a footballer? It almost seems for you, it's like what golf is to Gareth Bale, just like a way to relax.
TikTok is kind of my way. TikTok, not even just TikTok, social media in general is my way of connecting to a whole bunch of people to, show them how I really am. When you go on social media, for me, that's where I can be more authentic, where I can be more comfortable and, have a little bit more release.
You also played a fair bit of FIFA during your recovery, and it can't have slipped your notice that you are currently the strongest man on FIFA after Adebayo Akinfenwa's retirement last year.
For me, I was happy because I've been playing FIFA all the time, so being able to have that kind of status, I was like, oh, okay. I felt happy about myself.
So was there some ceremony where Akinfenwa himself passed on his crown?
Yeah, he posted something on Instagram. It was cool, and he messaged him or whatever because I played against him when I was at Barnsley as well. I have his kit, I swapped kit, we both swapped kits and everything. So it was sick. It was cool. So being able to do that, I was like, ooh.
Thinking back to these months in which you're trying to entertain yourself, keep your energy up as you rehab these back-to-back injuries, all the while the World Cup's getting closer and closer. In the back of your mind, do you keep telling yourself there's a chance you can make that roster if you work hard and recover in time?
Yeah, for sure. For me, that was one of the obvious difficult parts about the second injury was that I was going to be potentially out for the World Cup, which is what I had been working towards a lot of the year, thinking that I could be playing in the World Cup potentially. So, yeah, as the World Cup was approaching and seeing myself starting to get fit and getting fitter, I was happy because I was thinking, okay, maybe I can play a few games, I can squeeze some time in, and I'll be able to be fit for the World Cup.
I mean, you are a highly competitive human being, Daryl. Someone who sets his mind to tasks over and over and over again. This is something I really admire about you. And then you go out and accomplish them. I mean, you are a gentleman that does things rather than talks about them. How do you process that feeling, that disappointment?
Yeah, I was disappointed, but my thing was there's still many World Cups I can play. 2026 is the next one, and I just have to work to myself and know that when it comes, I want to be the starting striker. I want to be playing. I don't want to just be there. I want to be playing. And I have that one. I have another one. Who knows? If I play till I'm 34, I could play in 2034. I could, you know what I mean? And that's my thing is this isn't the last World Cup. I will still have a chance. I will still have many other chances. And I know it's been one of my dreams since I was a kid, and it still is my dream. It's still there, and it's still achievable. So that was the one thing that I could lift my head up about, that it wasn't my last one. I'm going to be able to get other chances.
Return to football joyously mid-November, right before the World Cup. You played just 96 minutes of competitive football in the calendar year to that point. Daryl, going so long without playing, mentally, does any doubt start to creep in about refinding your form?
You almost lose a little bit of faith in your body. You think, can I sprint like this? Can I jump like this? You want to pull out of tackles. You don't want to do certain things because you're sitting there getting little flashbacks to how this happened last time or why this happened. So you get a little scared to do a few of those things. And it takes you a few games. It takes you a few training sessions. It takes you a few times to, tell yourself, oh, it's all right. Your body can do this.
What we've witnessed, spoiler alert, since your return, really a true DK naissance. 3 goals in 9 games. That first strike, you rose up against Sunderland, I think it was your second game back, and slapped the ball home with your meaty Oklahoman forehead. What did that feel like emotionally, scoring after so many hard months off the field?
Yeah, that moment was great. It was incredible. The game was freezing. It was so cold, but so cold. One of the coldest games I've ever played in. But it was a great feeling because I look back on it, and so you just, as a striker, you want to score goals. Of course, you want to win games, you want to do other things, but you want to score goals. So for me, it was kind of knowing that, oh, I still have it. I could still play. I could still do well. I can still succeed. And after, it's like a big sigh of relief. It's a big weight off my shoulders to know, like, once that goal went in, and then turning around after I'd scored the goal and seeing how happy the squad was, because they've seen how, down I was. They've seen all that I've kind of gone through during these months. So being, having that support during that moment it was incredible.
This second phase has really been about trials, about challenges, and you've spoken before about your long-term goals. To play in the Champions League, to appear in World Cups. Just over a year ago, you did a really lovely interview with ESPN. I think you just signed for West Brom, where you talked about how your dreams felt more reachable than they ever had before. And I'm curious, given this year of setbacks, disappointments, tribulations, do these dreams still feel close? Or what do you say to yourself to keep them from feeling as in reach as ever?
Absolutely. They all still feel close, and they all are still so reachable. As you said, I'm only 22 years old, and after having all these setbacks, I think it's just made me stronger. I'm not going to go and tell you that I wanted to have these setbacks. Of course I did not. But throughout these setbacks, I've learned more about myself. I've learned more about my body. I've learned more about, on the mental side, everything that I think will carry on throughout my entire career. And it improves me as a player. It improves me as a person, not even just in terms of football. It improves me as an overall person in life. And having these setbacks can, it just made me stronger. It made me have this bigger hunger to go and get these things, to go and achieve these goals, just because I have such a high passion for it. I'm almost crazy of hunger for it now. And seeing all my friends that they're able to do it, makes me, I'm not gonna lie, it makes me jealous. I want to be able to do some of the things. You're telling me I don't want to be like Christian Pulisic and win Champions League and play in World Cups and do these things? Of course I want to, Of course I'm happy for everything he's doing, but I look at it and I think, oh, that looks great. That is what I want to work for. I work for this. That looks like fun. Not to say he's worked so hard for everything he does, but as a person, you see all those things and you're like, wow. And I think I am so close. You're so close, and you have the right tools. I just have to continue working and keep doing those things to be able to do it. And I know for myself, say I don't reach those goals, at the end of my career, if I continue and work super, super hard and do all the things, I'm still going to be happy. I'm going to be happy that I pushed myself to try and get those goals, and I'll be happy in whatever position that I am. Because if I didn't have those goals, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I would be, I would still be, I don't know, who knows if I'd even be playing. I wouldn't know where I am right now. But having those goals is the thing that keeps pushing me and pushing me and pushing me.
You really are an inspiration to all of us. We're so bloody glad to have you back on our screens. Godspeed to you, to your team, and your family for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe here for more Men in Blazers videos and courage.